and welcome to Page Turner. Today I'm going to be talking about how to adopt from the state of Texas foster care system and how we adopted our daughter and all the steps that we took to accomplish it. Step one is to find an agency that services your area. You want this agency to be close to where you live because you're probably going to be going to their main office for a lot of your trainings, plus their caseworkers are going to be coming to your home to do your monthly visits and your home study, and so it's important to find an agency that is close to you and one that is reputable and one that you trust. And step two is to fill out an application with that agency, and it's really lengthy. They ask a lot of questions. So I would say make sure that your finances are in order, that you're in the home that you plan on staying in for a while, that you have a steady job, that you and your spouse or partner have steady jobs, and nothing's going to be changing because once you put it all out there, you're going to have to do addendums to change it later. Next is to contact friends, family, and coworkers for references and let them know what the reference is for and kind of what you're needing out of it, just to show that the kind of person that you are, your character, your integrity, your ability to parent, how you are around other children, all of those things will help you in your application and getting placed with a child. Next is to reveal your living situation. Like I said before, you want to make sure that you're in the home that you plan on staying in for a while, if not your forever home, one that you're going to be in for a couple years, if possible. I mean, you can't always predict these kind of things, but it just makes things easier down the road. Next is to get your home ready. So that's baby proofing. You'll have to do an environmental check, so the fire marshal will have to come to your home and do an inspection. You have to double lock all of your medications and guns if you have any in your home, and ammunition. And so what we did, we've got everything in a safe, and then that safe is behind a closet that locks as well, so that's double lock. You want to get your fire extinguisher inspected. It's not just enough to have an extinguisher in your home. It has to be valid. It has to be inspected by a specific company that inspects them. And just a heads up, our volunteer fire department in our town and in our neighboring town, they don't do fire inspections. I had to find a company that specifically did the inspections. Ensure that your smoke detectors are working properly. And if you have a pool or a pond, you have to make sure that it is fenced. And then, of course, get children's bed, dresser, clothing. You don't have to have everything in place, but it's good to just start collecting. If you've got any family members that are getting rid of things, I would say go ahead and take them and store them in the event that you'll need them, because you don't know exactly what age child you might be placed with if you're not specific in your parameters. Next is to complete all your required trainings in person and online. They have a lot of online trainings now, so it makes things easier. But there are mandatory in-person trainings that you have to do. Next is have your home study completed, and that's an independent contractor will come to your home and review, your application and everything that you have turned in, all of your trainings, make sure everything's up to date, and they will ask you a ton of questions about you and your partner, or you if you're adopting individually, and about your history, your family history, finances, budget, work history. They'll ask you tons and tons of questions, so the big step is having that completed. Next is do some more trainings, because there's always trainings. You'll always get emails from your caseworker saying, hey, this just came through, or this mandate came through, and this training has to be completed. But they're usually not very lengthy, and they're easy to get completed. Up next is to start inquiring about children. So if you have an agency, they will start sending you broadcasts for children that are within the parameters that you specified, or you can go onto Texas Heart Galleries or the TARE.gov website, and you can view children that are already legally emancipated from their parents and that are waiting to be adopted, and you can inquire through that website. You can submit your home study through those websites, or you can contact your agency and let them know, hey, I'm interested in this child. You can sign up to receive legal risk broadcasts, and what those are broadcasts for children who are not already legally emancipated from their parents, but it's a possibility, and that the parents still have the opportunity to do their service plan, and that adoption is not guaranteed, but the judge overseeing the case has determined that they would like for the child to be placed in an adoptive home so that they can start bonding in the event that the parents do not complete their service plan. And it depends upon the situation of the parents as to what that service plan encompasses. It's not guaranteed that the child will not go back and live with their parents again, because the goal of foster care is reunification, and they stress that in your trainings. However, everyone wants the best possible outcome for the child, and so when legal risk broadcasts are put out, they are looking for a home that is interested in adopting. And the risk is that foster parents are taking the child in, loving them, caring for them, bonding with them, keeping them safe, happy, and healthy in the event that reunification is not possible. And within a year or more, the judge may finalize the adoption or keep the case open pending the behaviors and what's going on with the birth parents. As one of the top families for that child, there will be a meeting, and that meeting will be the attorney ad litem for the child, the CPS caseworker, your agency's caseworker, and any other professionals that are invited to the meeting will all sit down. They'll look at everyone's home studies that have been submitted, and there might be hundreds. And like they said, they narrow it down for this meeting. And they look through everyone's paperwork and everyone's living situations and everyone's histories, and they try to make the best decision for the child. They try to choose the best home possible. And so they choose a couple of families, and then they notify you if you are the number one choice. And at that point, you get to meet the child. You get to do a meet and greet and see if you are the right fit for the child, and if the child's the right fit for your family, and make sure that everyone meshes well. If that goes well, then we'll do a placement. They'll bring the child to your home, and there'll be a period of time that they will live with you and bond, and in that period of time there will be hearings. So about every 3 months there is a hearing updating the judge and the attorney ad litem and everybody else involved as to how the placement is going, how the birth parents are doing with their service plan. And that can be 6 to 12 months. And each month you'll get a visit from your agency. They will come to your home and ask questions and see how everything's going and see if you need any help or services or referrals. You will also have the CPS caseworker coming to your home on behalf of the state and on behalf of that child, and they will come and visit and make sure everything is going well. They will check up on anything that has been referred and make sure that the child is getting everything that they need. Make sure that the child's going to the dentist, the doctor, their counselors, therapists, depending on the needs of the child. Also, if the birth parents still get visitation, you will be bringing the child to visits with their birth parents. Also, state licensing may send another individual to your home unrelated to the case to make sure that your house is in compliance. Also, the attorney ad litem or their assistant may come to your home too every couple of months before each hearing and make sure that they have all of the information for the hearing. And then based on how everything is going, if the judge is leaning towards adoption, if reunification is not going to be a possibility, then you will have a hearing where the parental rights are terminated. And after that, you'll have a couple more hearings until all paperwork is in place for the adoption. And then finally, there's adoption day, which for us, it took 3 years for our adoption to be finalized, but totally worth it. We learned a lot along the way, and we're grateful that it turned out the way that it did. And I hope that this video has helped you if you are looking into adoption or just getting started and you don't really know anything about the foster care system. I hope that this provided a little bit of insight for you. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to help in any way that I can. We're about to go through the process again, so I'm sure I will learn a whole bunch of new information in the near future. Thanks for watching. Bye.